Actually, interestingly, you talked about criticism there and critique. And I do want to unpick that a little bit with you mainly because and I suspect some of my listeners, will want to get better at taking criticism. I am definitely very guilty of, but I gave it my best shot. And obviously I internalize this, but I wish it didn't wound me so much. So if you were to say to somebody, look, here's how to reframe criticism and critique so that it doesn't wound you, it actually empowers you, how would you coax them into that way of thinking?
I think you detach any personal attributes to when you're giving somebody any kind of critique. So if it's about me, with me, usually it's about how I broadcast, and as long as the person that you're asking for that critique from is somebody you first of all you really have to respect them, because it's a non-starter if you don't think that they're worth listening to. So choose those people wisely. And when the mentor I talked about earlier from Sky he died a few years ago, and I was a bit rudderless at that point because I had nobody else that I'd gone to for that kind of advice before. And during the World Cup, I think it was in 2018, there was a producer I really value, a guy called Rich Hughes, and I said to him, look, I know I'm not quite cracking these interviews because it's not my natural broadcast place. I normally host the shows, don't do the post-match interviews. Can you give me some feedback after the first match? And he wrote me the most amazing email afterwards, which was really detailed kind of insight into what he thought I'd elicited and why the answer might have been better if I'd done this, and how to reframe the questions, because doing a post-match interview is a very specific kind of broadcasting compared to, say, a long-form sat-down interview like this or something that happens in a studio. And I think he was flattered, actually, to be asked, because, I'm similar age to him, a lot of experience. It wasn't as if I was a very junior person that just started. And I think he then respected me probably more as well for it, because then he knew that he could feed back. And I do ask people that I really respect, for any kind of feedback that they want. And it's taking that personal out, I think, and being in your own mind accepting that there'll be things that you might slightly disagree with, but you have to see it from the other person's perspective, because otherwise you're never going to get better at it.